Thanks to the support as a channel member, Paul Thomas. Just 1 year ago, we broke this club's transfer record by signing an ageing Brazilian for less than £2 million. A year later, we've spent £44 million over the previous 12 months. That's called the Kev effect. That's what happens when I arrive at a football club. And to be fair, we have operated on a transfer profit to do that as well. £62 million worth of players out, £44.5 million worth of players in. I think we can probably safely call that a rebuild. Since you were last with me, there's been a couple more outgoing transfers that have gone through. I think we got as far as Guido Gonzalez going to River Plate. Who is he playing for them? I mean, to be fair, they are starting him. Okay, I'll allow it. We also sold German Oliveira to Boca Juniors, which I think was one that was due to be going through but hadn't actually finalised in the last episode. Fabian Hubner, the Brazilian who we just couldn't register in the squad, has gone out on loan. They're paying his money. And Lichaba has gone on loan to Stellenbosch. My boys. I mean, I feel like I'm continuing to prove I am a Stellenbosch guy. Take Kaiser Chiefs' best young player and loan him to Stellenbosch. That might be a new business plan for us. I like that. But with the money from Gonzalez and Oliveira, we have reinvested. I think we got as far as Julian Nunez, who we're still not able to play, but he'll be our goalkeeper for next season. Samuel Mena is in as our Copa Sudamericana goalkeeper. We've not been able to register him in our squad, but he is playing in the Continental matches, so you will see him play today. And then we've signed 4 more Argentinian, in fact 3 Argentinians and a foreigner, who is the reason why Mena can't be in the squad. So Escobar is in as a new left back, rotation option at left back, but can also play centre back and right back. 2.5 stars current ability, 4.5 stars of potential. He's cost us £5.5 million. Demian Salina is a 25-year-old Argentinian centre-back. Nothing special, 3 stars of current ability, but just some nice squad depth that we just haven't had previously, and now we do. And then this is a guy we've been tracking for a little while. We actually wanted him before he went to Banfield. Weren't able to get him then, but have managed to get him a year later. Agustin Rodriguez, 19 years old, left winger, 4 stars of current ability, 5 stars of potential, can play on the right as well. And I think he's probably my Basualdo replacement, as we are obviously in the end times of him being at the football club before he joins up with Inter Milan permanently. And then this is the guy who meant we couldn't register our goalkeeper because he was just too good to turn down. Sean Torres, 20-year-old Colombian, 6'4", and you can't teach that. 3.5 stars of current ability already at 20 years old, 5 stars of potential. He's a bit good. So we didn't really have an option at 1.8 million. We've brought him in and we'll worry about squad registration issues in the next transfer window. For now, it means we do only really have 1 goalkeeper registered in the league, although weirdly, like I say, Mena can be registered in South American Europe, which is an odd one. As far as league and stuff goes, we ended up finishing... We ended up finishing 3rd in the league, and the League Cup has now started, and we've started with a couple of wins, which is a bit of a contrast to how things went last year. And we are still in the Copa Sudamericana as well. We won 3-2 away against Ba, who finished top of our group in the group stage. But we've beaten them 3-2 in our at their place in the first leg. And our first match now will be the second leg at home against them, with a place in the semi-final of that on the line. We want to win this season to show the world we're ready to win the Copa Libertadores next season. Depending on how that goes, we'll either show you the semi-final or maybe the River Plate match as the second match in today's episode. All that being said, we are still suffering from a gazillion injuries. The most recent long-term injury is William Flores, our left back, who has torn his hamstring and is out for the rest of the season, which is not ideal. We've also lost Guilherme, who broke his ankle, who'd been the regular starter at attacking midfield, and Ramiro Herrera, who we've sent out on loan, has played 3 matches of his loan and then damaged his kneecap and is out for another month. And I am starting to think that as much as I pinned my hopes on this kid, 2 major injuries, 2 moderate injuries in his what was supposed to be his breakout season, limiting him to just 4 appearances across 2 clubs, I think that will probably cost him. I think that losing that year of development, His strength's dropped down massively, his determination. I think we probably have to forget that Ramiro Herrera exists at this point, which is a little bit of a shame. But this is the team for the second leg against Bah. We've got Mena in goal, a back four of Godoy, who's having to play at left back because of the injury to Flores, and Escobar isn't registered in our squad, who would be our backup left back now. We just didn't. You're only allowed to make so many replacements to your Continental squads, and we couldn't get him in, which he is upset about, by the way. And now I'm a little bit upset about, because immediately after Flores got injured, so club icon Mario Godoy is going to have to play left back for us. He'll be fine. Contreras could play there as well, to be fair. Contreras, Palazza and Carrera make up the rest of the back four. Palazza could still leave before the European transfer window closes. Spurs are the club leading the charge to bring him in, and there's some big clubs after him as well. But at the moment, we've been able to keep them all at bay. But if Spurs come in and offer that asking price, we have agreed to let him go. They haven't done yet. So fingers crossed, with just a couple of days left on this window in Europe, we do get to keep him, but this could conceivably be his last game. In midfield, it's then Torres and La Pera, a attacking midfield of Rodriguez, Lescano and Basualdo, and then Barazza up front, who, by the way, he's come in and does look quite good. 2 goals in his first 5 appearances in the league. He scored in the previous match against Ba as well, and he looks like I don't know that he's an improvement over what we had with Lucas Gonzalez, but he was cheaper, and it allowed us to rebuild other parts of the squad while we wait for some of our youngsters to continue to develop. We've got 2 or 3 good young teenage strikers who could end up becoming the superstar. And ultimately, as we're always going to be suffering from players being dragged away to Europe out of our control, it's important to have options in every position anyway, because at any moment you could lose a key player because the right offer comes in. No player is going to turn down the big move to Europe for the big money and the fame and, I don't know, being able to get Warburton's bread. I guess you can't get that in Argentina. But all of that means we're always at risk of losing our players. My keyboard's about to die. So we need 2 or 3 for each position. So we've got that continuity that we didn't have previously, as we saw first half of the season. I think it's probably what cost us the league title this season, not having that depth in the centre-back position, which we now have, because we've got like 6 centre-backs now. We're loaded up on them. The next problem we're going to have is players getting upset that they're not getting game time. That is a stunning pass. And unfortunately, Barazza is not quite quick enough. But what a pass that was. I don't think I've ever seen that pass in Football Manager before. It's rare after over 2,000 hours on this version of the game to see something new. But that pass was outstanding, and it's just a shame that Barazza not quite having the pace to make the most of it. We do score from the resultant corner. It is Jefferson Palazza, and that should get us into the semi-final of the Copa Sudamericana, which is jolly nice indeed. My hope would be if Spurs do come in and meet the asking price in the next few days, we get to keep him on loan until the end of the season, so he can at least pick up his medal for this competition that he's going to help us win. Although it's a complicated one, because although their transfer window, look how small he is, although their transfer window is still open, ours is now closed. So I don't actually know how that would work. I wonder if we'd actually maybe not be allowed to keep him on loan, even though he's already here, which I don't think the AI is smart enough to arrange a transfer to go through at the end of the season. Which again is frustrating, because in real life, that's very much the negotiation we'd be having. We'd be like, look, he's a youngster who you're not going to play straight away. He's too old for you to make him homegrown, so you don't have that incentive to bring him in now. Let us keep him till Christmas, because we could win the League Cup and the Copa Sudamericana. He's a key part of the team. You can have him at Christmas, and I'll drive him to London myself at Christmas, because by then Cruz is going to be ready to come into the team and we won't need him so much. We'd like to keep him. If there's a scenario where he stays, that would be lovely. But if we have to let him go, he can go at the end of the season with my blessing. But losing him now when we don't then have a window to replace him is the worst way to lose him. Lescano dancing into the area, unfortunately not able to squeeze it past the goalkeeper, and Rodriguez has picked up a knock. So we are going to take him off. When you're 2 goals ahead and you've got strength in depth now, so we've obviously got Mancinelli sat there, there's no reason to keep a player on the pitch when he's carrying a knock. So Rodriguez can come off. He was about to take the corner as well. He's like, no, I have had enough. Off I come. Does someone else want to go over and take this corner? No, we're just not even going to get the corner. I don't know that that's how football works. We should at least still get the corner, surely. Maybe the ball's still just sat there. It remains 1-0 as we enter the final 25 minutes of the match, and Ba have not had a shot on target yet. What a contrast. It shows how much we've changed just from the group stage of this competition, when they were comfortably the better team. And now, just, 3 or 4 months later, albeit with 8 or 9 new signings at our club, but we're so much better than them now. Rebuilds, boys and girls. We love a rebuild. Right, final couple of changes. Palazza can come off for Cruz. Godoy can come off for Salina, and Contreras can go out to left back. And everyone is happy, apart from Lepera, who would probably like to come off and have a little bit of a rest. But you know what? He'll be fine. Right, we've got to defend this corner. Rodriguez hacks it clear, but we're second to the follow-up ball, and fingers crossed this doesn't end up back at our end of the pitch. But it's a strange highlight. Basualdo drops deep to pick it up, lays it off to Rodriguez, who is playing as the attacking midfield, having come off the bench. Obviously, he was nailed on as part of that double pivot with Lepera before Torres arrived, but now we can be a little bit more flexible about how we use him, because again, we've got options in that position. First half of the season, we had 2 defensive midfielders we were brave enough to use, and that was that. We brought in the centre-backs, Godoy joined them, and then Torres has come in, and all of a sudden we've got 4 good players who we'd happily start in that position. We've got strength in depth everywhere, and Baratza has just made it 2-0 on the night, 5-2 on aggregate, and we're in the semi-final of the Copa Sudamericana, and we've knocked out a team that previously were better than us. And I'm looking at the other teams that are still in this competition and thinking, you know what, this is very, very winnable. And I think we probably would justifiably be pretty disappointed at this stage if we don't go on and win this continental competition and put down a marker to let the world know we're ready. We'll have this one this year. We'll have the big one next year. We're going to play against Juventud. They were the team we turned down. That was the other team we could have joined. But we decided to go up the colon instead. I mean, this is where we find out if the chat was right or wrong way back when. And I think we're just going to go straight through and play that second leg semi-final now. So I'm going to play a bunch of matches off camera. I'm less interested in the League Cup, more interested in South American Europe. So I'll meet you about a month down the road for the Copa Sudamericana semi-final against Juventud. Well, the injuries continue to accumulate, and we've now lost Rodriguez, our shiny new winger. He's out with a twisted ankle for a month. Lepera broke his ankle as well. That's 2 broken ankles to 2 different midfield players. He's out for the rest of the season. It's a long way from ideal. Escobar, who came in for Flores as the replacement left back, he's now injured, but Flores is sort of fit again. I mean, as fit as we can get him, I guess, in the circumstances. We are ready to play the second leg of the semi-final of the Copa Sudamericana. As you can see, form in the League Cup and also the Argentinian Cup has been pretty solid. The only defeat we've had is away against River Plate, as you would expect. And we are looking good to qualify for the quarter-final of the League Cup. And I'm not sure what the overall league table is looking like. Presumably, we're still in 3rd place. So if we go here and then go to the overall, so I think top 5 get into Copa Libertadores, and we are looking pretty much nailed on for that Copa Libertadores qualification spot. So that is good, but are we good enough to win it? Let's prove we are by winning the Copa Sudamericana. It's 0-0 from the first leg away against Juventud. This is the second leg, and this is the team. It's Mena in goal, a back 4 of Flores, at least for the first half. I guess Gomez comes on at half time, because Godoy, he's also injured. Everyone's injured. Carrera's injured as well. My right backs. I'm losing all my fullbacks. So Flores is going to play 45 minutes at left back. Dante Cruz is going to have to play right back, and then it's Contreras and Palazza in the middle. I guess Contreras could drop out to left back if needed as well. Torres and Rodriguez in midfield, and then Mancinelli, Lascano, Basualdo behind Baratza up front. The positive from all these injuries is it really is demonstrating that squad depth that I was talking about before. Because earlier on in the season, first half of the season, an injury to Lopera would have completely derailed us. It would have been devastating. As is, Rodriguez can just slot in alongside Torres, and it's probably as strong as it was before. Rodriguez and Lopera, there's very, very little between them. They're both playmakers. When they were playing together, we missed the strength that we get with Torres in there as the ball-winning midfielder. So yes, we'd still miss Torres, although Godoy could replace him. But let's not worry about any of that, because we've just scored a football goal. It's 1-0 on the night and on aggregate, and it's Baratza, and it's 1-0, and it's the first attack of the game. It comes from the throw. Dante Cruz. There you go. That's a centre-back, boys and girls. Plays it across to Basualdo. Basualdo back to Cruz. Slides it across goal. It's a lovely finish from Baratza. And it's 1-0. First shot that either team have had in the entire football match, putting us 1-0 ahead. End it there. Stop the count. We kept hold of Palazzo, by the way, so that is a positive. And amongst all the injuries, no one paid his agreed amount. And I think when we get to January and the window opens up again, the promise that I made him will have expired, so we can try and agree a higher price with him then. As hopefully a couple of medals in his pocket. If we can win the League Cup and win the Copa Argentina and win the Copa Sudamericana. I mean, 2 of those 3, I guess, works. Let's just give the boy a few medals. Admittedly, he might be of a mind of, well, I've achieved everything I can achieve at this club. Now I can go and play for Spurs. I've got my medals now. I can go to Spurs. Baratza's hit the post. Ooh. Nearly. Yeah, I mean, at 2-0 after less than half an hour, you'd be feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about the decision to come to Colon rather than Juventud at the moment, because we seem to be comfortably better than them. I mean, admittedly, a year in, I probably would have done a similar rebuild job there to what we've done here. And if you look through the starting 11 that we've got here today, very few of them were at the club when I arrived. So there was Palazza, Basualdo. They're the only 2 who were at the club when I arrived. And obviously Basualdo's already agreed to be sold. He's back in on loan from Inter, and Palazzo will probably be leaving as well. So I imagine by the start of next season, it'll be an entirely new starting 11 with nobody from 18 months previously when I arrived at the club. That's how you do a rebuild, boys and girls. None of this faffing around doing 2 or 3 transfers. Rebuild the club in your own image. On that topic as well, Lebolo, is that his name? This young South African striker, it's something like that. The one we loaned to Stellenbosch has now made his full debut for South Africa. And so he's played for South Africa before Kurt Vilakazi, which suggests maybe Big Kurt isn't as good as I thought he was. And he's played his season in Germany now and only scored 2 goals. So maybe it was a blessing that we didn't bring him here to Argentina, although I would have got goals out of him. He's my boy. I know how to play him. But Lebolo, scoring at a goal a game for Stellenbosch, I imagine the Kaiser Chiefs fans are pretty miffed, because they offered to loan him as well. They came in with the loan offer. There was 3 South African teams. I think it was Kaiser Chiefs, Stellenbosch, Cape Town Spurs. All 3 of them wanted to take him on loan for until the end of the season. And obviously I turned down 2 of them and only accepted Stellenbosch because I'm not a monster. Right, Torres plays it forward to Basualdo. Heavy touch from him and gives the ball away. And it remains 1-0 as we just start to tootle through this second half. We could use a second goal here. Without a second goal, I mean, I was supposed to take Flores off at half-time, wasn't I? There he is, very much struggling. But you know what? It's a place in the final at stake here. Let him struggle a little bit. Baratza's in, and there is the second goal. And if that's allowed, if that's given, I think this is when we take off Flores, because at 2-0, we can start feeling a little bit more comfortable and we can shuffle a few things around, and it's disallowed. He's got to stay on for a little bit longer. We don't have anyone else who can really play there. We've got so many injuries accumulating. We're going to give him to the hour mark, and I think we've got to take him off, haven't we? Look at him. He is struggling. Right, Godoy's not fit. Gomez, we have trained. I mean, Salina, I guess, is the obvious one. Bring Salina on. Contreras can go out there, and that'll do. That works, I think. And now we just need to grab that second goal, and it's Basualdo. Clearly my My stupid dog decided that he was very excited at the prospect of us scoring a second goal and decided to shout. He's also destroyed the blinds on my landing, which is nice. But I think Contreras, masterful substitution, because I think Contreras has just won us a penalty here. Come on, ref. Yeah, I thought you hadn't given it for a second there. Right. Oh, who is this taking it? It is Basualdo and scores. And that should be our spot in the final confirmed. 14th goal of the season for Basualdo. We are going to miss him, but I think with the transfers that we've done, we probably have enough about us to have him replaced. I don't think we're going to miss him to the point where we're lost without him. We just wish he was still here. Right, we are going to bring on Lescano. Sorry, we're going to drop Lescano back because Rodriguez needs to come off. So we'll put Basualdo there, and then Flores can come on there. We're certainly having to shuffle the pack around a little bit here today. And I don't really want to make any more changes in that midfield. I think we just leave things as they are. We don't want to mess around too much. At the moment, the players aren't particularly tired, so we can leave them on the pitch. That seems logical to me. Let's wait until they're falling apart, like Lescano and Contreras now are. So we are going to have to make these. Oh, my goodness. Right. Mancinelli's going to come off for Janovic. And Contreras, Godoy is just going to have... In fact, Gomez can play. Gomez can give us 10 minutes. And for the final change, Carrera's not really fit, and we've never really used him in central midfield, but I think we're going to have to bring him on for Torres and do that. And it'll be fine. He's been training to play there back when we didn't have anyone who could play there. So, I mean, lots of players playing in different positions. We're showing the flexibility in the squad today. I mean, we could have probably shuffled things around in a way that got Cruz to centre back and Carrera to right back where they're supposed to be, but it'll be fine. We're 2-0 up. We're quite comfortable. We don't need to think too much. Thinking's for nerds. Gomez just rolls it straight at the goalkeeper. Had the opportunity to put us 3-0 up. Absolutely bottled it. What a rascal. It remains 2-0. But I'm hoping tomorrow... Oh, that's poor. That's really, really, really poor. I'm going to not say the sentence I was about to say because that was absolute nonsense. That's what happens when you have the defence shuffle. I mean, Cruz just heads it up in there. It's Palazzo who's at fault there. I hope Spurs are watching because then we can keep Palazzo for a little bit longer. Please don't mess it up from here, you bunch of wallies. What I was saying is I'd like to think tomorrow's episode could be a whole bunch of finals, but we might be bottling the first one of them here. Oh, no. Don't be wallies. Don't be wallies. We want triple header finals. We've got 30 seconds left. We've been completely dominant in this match. Please don't throw it all away from here. It's Palazzo. He's already gifted them 1 goal. Carrera to Cruz. I mean, if they score from this is literally me playing players in their wrong positions that will have caused it. Although actually, this looks like quite the counter-attack. Gomez into Janovic. This is lovely football. We've hit the post and Flores, surely. What a save. My word, that's a good save. I don't think it matters because we're past the 96th minute now. So we should still be all right. We're on the attack well after when the final whistle should have gone. But that should have been 3. And that is full time. And that is final number 1 booked. Now we just need to get to the finals of the other 2 competitions. So we're only in the quarterfinal of the... No, hold on. Which competition's which? We're in the semi-final of the Copa Argentina. I don't know what... Oh, that's what our expectation was. So the final, we play Deportivo Cali off of Colombia. So it's not even a Brazilian team. And then, of course, we want to get into the final of the League Cup as well. So I will try. I'll do my very best to show you 3 finals tomorrow if we get to the other 2. We'll certainly have at least 1. And if you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much to my wonderful Patreons. and thank you very much for watching.